life. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
And we want to welcome you in. Here's the news at 11 on this Saturday night. I'm Lauren Casey in for Nicole Griffin with our Kyle Mounts. And Kyle, I was just telling you, the moon tonight, if you haven't seen it, beautiful.
It's nice
bright.
And bright out there.
Yeah,
last night technically full, but it still looks pretty full out there this evening. And we've got those clear skies. You can enjoy it. What we're also enjoying is a break in that heat finally today with a high of 83 degrees. There you can see, though, that ends a 4-day run of 90-degree heat that started back on Tuesday. And yeah, it's feeling a little bit better out there even at this hour. Temperatures are generally in the 60s, although in the Circle City we're holding on to the lower 70s right now at 62 in Bloomington, 66 for you in Tipton, and also holding on at 70 degrees right now in Muncie. Satellite and radar quiet scan across central Indiana, and expect things to stay that way through the overnight as you get ready to head out the door in the morning. Not going to need the umbrella in most locations, but northern spots going to have a couple of stray showers out there. So we'll start off the day with temperatures in the lower 60s. Look at that quick warm, though. We'll see those numbers into the mid-70s by 11 a.m. We'll talk about the Sunday shower chances for some of us, another round of summer heat coming our way, and several dry days in the forecast.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. A message of hope rang out from pews of the Church of Glory near 34th Street and North Sherman Drive. It was the 6th annual Victory Over Violence event, meant as a time of remembrance for Officer Perry Wren, who was killed while on duty nearby back in 2014. Wren was a 22-year veteran of law enforcement, and at the time of his death, the event is meant to normalize the relationship between police and the community. Pastor Donald Edwards Jr. told RTV6 how this is all working.
What I'm trying to do is bring a connection with the officer in our community, and it's been working out pretty good. Have been eating lunch and with the officers, the deputy mayors, and different people that's in the official, and it's working out. So I believe that we keep having these things. Matter of fact, we also have the commander coming out and speak for it to kind of let them know that they're people just like we are, and that we all should treat each other like we want to be treated.
Mayor Joe Hogsett and North District IMPD Commander Michael Wally were also scheduled to be in attendance for tonight's event. Major Davis II was sentenced to life without parole back in 2017 for the 2014 murder of Officer Wren. Well, a statewide silver alert has just been declared for this missing teenager from the Fort Wayne area. 17-year-old Vivian Alexis Zico was last seen around noon today in Fort Wayne. She's believed to be in extreme danger and may require some medical assistance. So if you have any information about her whereabouts, please call 911. Well, every year, suicide claims more lives than war, murder, and natural disasters combined. Yet suicide prevention doesn't always get the attention to match that staggering toll. But there's a group on a mission to change that, one step at a time. Hundreds of people showed their commitment to that journey today by participating in the 2019 Out of Darkness Walk at White River State Park. The walk not only raises awareness about the warning signs of suicide, it also raises money for services that offer resources and support for people who might be contemplating suicide and those who are already impacted by it.
I'm here in memory of my dad, who committed suicide. It'll be 5 years in January. And my cousin, who would have been 20 or was 21, who committed suicide last year. And of course, for everybody else that's out here.
One of the perceptions of the general public is that behavioral health is a question of character as opposed to a question of illness. And we are here to help stop the stigma that needing help is a character flaw.
The Out of Darkness Walk was hosted by the Indiana chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. In 2018, the chapter trained more than 5,400 Hoosiers to recognize at-risk individuals who may be in mental health distress. They learned the appropriate language to help those individuals out. And if you or someone you know is depressed or even contemplating suicide, we have a link to a number of resources right now. It's all at the RTV6 app and also at theindychannel.com. RTV6.com. Well, there is a crisis at Indianapolis Animal Care Services. Animals there are now at risk of euthanasia, and it's all because that facility is way over capacity. That's why IACS is offering free adoptions this weekend to help clear space. The holding pens in both the dog and cat rooms are full, and many animals are now being placed in temporary cages. If you don't want to adopt, IACS says you can help by fostering an animal or volunteering by walking dogs, feeding the animals, and helping to clean the shelter. Any way you can help, you can do that and help save a cat or dog's life. Well, the shelter is located on Harding Street on the southwest side. It's open from 10 until 6 o'clock tomorrow. Well, we do have a reminder for you, an RTV6 traffic alert for the weekend. The south and westbound lanes of I-465 between I-65 and I-70, they're still shut down on the southeast side. This is all for bridge work, and this is a live look in the area right now. NDOT says the shutdown is actually better than those overnight lane closures. It lets them get the work done in 15 days rather than 9 months. I-465 in this area is scheduled to reopen by Saturday, September 21st. Fresh off debate number 3, the Democratic candidates are back on the trail, taking their message directly to voters all across the country. Want to go to more now from ABC's Inez de la Cutera.
The Democratic presidential hopefuls are back on the campaign trails addressing some of the same issues covered in the debate. Beto O'Rourke pledging on Thursday.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47.
Today standing by his commitment to end gun violence.
But if we decided we were no longer going to allow the sale of those weapons of war in our communities.
Senator Cory Booker hosting a gun reform panel at the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation.
This urgency that we need to awaken America to the size and the gravity of this problem so that we have a common sense of purpose to do something about it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren calling out Republicans for trying to destroy the Affordable Care Act.
Health care is a basic human right, and we fight for basic human rights.
And Biden looking to counter concerns over his age, announcing he will release his medical records before the Iowa caucus.
Releasing your medical records to address concerns by...
I don't have what the hell concerns, man. You want to wrestle?
But it's not just Democrats challenging the president. 3 Republicans are seeking the GOP nomination. South Carolina, Nevada, Arizona, and Kansas have canceled their Republican primaries. Those GOP challengers criticizing the move in a Washington Post op-ed. The president appearing unconcerned.
I'm not looking to give them any credibility.
Tweeting he has a 94% approval rating with Republicans, but the latest ABC News Washington Post poll has that figure at 82%. Inez de la Cutera, ABC News, Washington.
Well, we have much more ahead here on the news at 11. First, a deck collapse injuring more than 20 people, some of those children. We'll have the details as crews work to figure out how this happened. And then a little later, how to get ahead at work and get out of that rut. We learned some surprising tips that you should know. Kyle.
And we've got some more toasty days in our future. The outlook, which goes almost to the end of September, calling for above average temperatures when we could hit 90 again. You're watching RTV6.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Welcome back. At least 22 people were hurt in a multi-story balcony collapse. This was at a home in Wildwood, New Jersey. It happened earlier tonight. At least 3 people are injured. At least 3 of the injured, rather, are children. The victims were taken to 2 area hospitals. More than a dozen firefighters responded to this scene, surrounded the area of the debris from those fallen decks. The debris was scattered in the front yard of the home and on the sidewalk. And right now, there's no word yet on what caused this collapse. Well, the parents of the late Otto Warmbier were scheduled to have dinner tonight with President Trump and the U.S. ambassador to Germany. But so far, the White House is not confirming that happened. This video, however, does appear to show the Warmbiers arriving at the White House. Their son Otto was the American college student who was held prisoner for 17 months by North Korea. He died shortly after he was returned home in a comatose state back in 2017. Trump has said that he does not hold North Korean leader Kim Jong-un responsible for Warmbier's death. His parents, Fred and Cindy Warmbier, previously rejected Trump's remarks. Well, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is notifying more than 2 million people that their personal information was shared with a third party. FEMA shared the data with a contractor that supports its transitional sheltering assistance program. Anyone who applied for temporary housing assistance between the years 2008 and 2018 may have been impacted. The shared data includes banking information of about 1.8 million of those cases. FEMA says it has removed all of the overshared information from its contractor's system. There's no evidence the data was ever hacked or accessed by an unauthorized party. The agency is providing 18 months of free credit monitoring for anyone who is affected. Here's a sobering lesson in economics. A public school undergraduate degree is 213% more expensive today than it was back in the late 80s. It's no wonder almost 19 million students applied for federal financial aid just last year. Chris Welch is exploring solutions to a reported loophole that could be taking money from the people who need it the most.
My reaction was, I think, disappointment, but not surprise.
Emily Goodman works for a nonprofit that helps low-income students finish college. So you could understand why she'd be disturbed by these recent articles from ProPublica and the Wall Street Journal exposing a loophole in the federal qualifications for financial aid.
Wealthy families are giving up guardianship of their high school students, usually in their junior or senior year, to family members, to friends, to co-workers, in an attempt to make college more affordable.
See, by giving up guardianship, the student is given independent status, meaning they'd now qualify for more financial aid since their parents' income can no longer be considered.
They're really taking away opportunity for our low-income students in our state who may be the only access to college that the only pathway to college is through state financial aid.
According to a ProPublica investigation, the students in question were accepted at a number of institutions, including within the University of Illinois system.
But it gets even worse. According to reports, the more than 40 families in question were from one of the wealthiest places in the state, Lake County, home to gated mansion after gated mansion.
These parents that really have the ability to pay are robbing the dreams of certain families and their children the ability to go to college.
State Representative LaShawn Ford admits that the practice is technically not illegal, so financial aid rules would have to be changed on a federal level. But on the state level, lawmakers plan to crack down on private college admissions businesses that allegedly turned parents on to the practice.
So what we're going to do is look at regulating those businesses and make sure that they are licensed so that we can have some type of restrictions on how they guide and drive people to these type of immoral behavior.
But Justin Drager with the National Association of Student Financial Aid Administrators says officials must be careful with how they fix the loophole.
What we don't want is an overcorrection that then makes it really difficult, if not impossible, for students who are in legitimate legal guardianships to qualify for financial aid.
But at the end of the day, this loophole really only further exposes the elephant in the room.
If people have to go through measures to lie, cheat, and rob other people of opportunities to go to college, college is not affordable.
Reporting in Chicago, I'm Chris Welch.
Chris, thank you. Another tropical storm system is pounding the Bahamas. Some 2 weeks after Hurricane Dorian ravaged the area, Tropical Storm Umberto is now strengthening in the Caribbean. Cleanup efforts on the Bahamas' Abaco Islands turned into storm preparations on Friday as residents brace for more wind and more rain.
We have a team that's been deployed to Abaco right now. They're going to sit there and wait out the storm. The last few days, they've been getting as many shelter supplies in place.
2 to 4 inches of rain are expected across the Bahamas. Isolated areas could see up to 6 inches of rain. Umberto's maximum sustained winds neared 50 miles per hour on Saturday, and wind gusts could reach 60 miles per hour in some areas. In the areas hard hit by Dorian, the storm conditions could spell disaster and leave residents in a precarious situation. After moving past the Bahamas, that storm is expected to strengthen to a hurricane by Sunday night. Forecasts show the storm then tracking to the east out into the open waters of the Atlantic and away from the southeastern United States. And we're hoping that is the case, Kyle. Thankfully, back here at home, we had a beautiful Saturday here. No complaints. It was sunny. We had a little breeze. What can we expect going ahead?
Sensational today.
Oh,
we got some crystal clear skies out there tonight, and tomorrow not going to change a whole lot for us. We've got a chance for some showers that could impact a few locations. We'll get in on that here in just a second. Right now it is 71 in downtown. Our winds, they're back out of that southerly direction, so we're gradually going to see a little more of that humidity into the air. Tonight it's not bad though, at 63%. As we go through the overnight, we'll find that temperature down about 10 degrees from where it is right now in Indy at 60 with clear skies. But I do think many locations will start off Sunday morning in the mid to upper 50s. 56 in Muncie, 59 degrees in Bloomington and Columbus at 57 degrees. Storm Team 6 radar, quiet scan for us here at home in the Hoosier State. We look back to the north and west though, and there is a complex of some showers and a couple of thunderstorms here moving through eastern portions of Iowa and western Illinois. It's not really all that impressive, but it may hold together here, and the models are kind of indicating some of those showers will make their way into northern locations by tomorrow morning. This is 8:30 in the morning. See a few of those showers around Fowler. Do expect it to continue to kind of fall apart though as it makes progress to the south and east. By the middle of the day tomorrow, possibly a shower making its way into Hamilton County, possibly Indianapolis, but really that chance staying north of I-70 here, only about 30%. So if you do see any rain, it's not going to last very long, and it'll be partly sunny skies for the rest of us. Temperatures that start off around 60, 70 degrees for you by 10 a.m. And we'll see those numbers warming a little bit more here as we'll have a decent amount of sunshine mixing in with the clouds there. 83 for the afternoon. We'll see those temperatures above average. Our average high is just 79 degrees. We'll be at 87 for you Sunday afternoon in Columbus, 84 in Muncie, and where we'll have that chance for a couple of showers around, a little cooler in Peru at 82, contrasting to 86 in Bloomington. But if you've got some of that yard work that you need to get out there and get done, looks like we'll be in pretty good shape here the next several days because we're going to be combining the warmth along with some dry weather here. Look at those temperatures though. There's that average. The next several days, we're talking about numbers that are going to be well above that here, and possibly back to around another 90-degree reading here in the 7-day planning forecast as we put it all together for you. That isolated chance for a shower or thunderstorm, mainly northern communities tomorrow morning, and then we put the dry forecast back together here. 89 degrees on Monday afternoon, a little more humid there, so we'll have that heat index into the lower and possibly middle 90s. A little bit cooler, a little more manageable with the temperature Tuesday and Wednesday with highs in the middle 80s before we warm it up again. And there you see as we go into the end of the week and early next weekend, we've got that isolated chance for a shower, but the warmth sticking around and likely not just through then, but through the end of September as well.
I can't believe it's already mid-September, Kyle. Feels like July out here.
It does feel like it. Yeah, we'll get into fall here eventually.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. Stick around. We'll be right back after this short break.
Tonight at Rubens Mattress and Furniture.
Welcome back. Tonight, we're shining a light on an issue impacting many families right here in central Indiana, and that's the high cost of drugs that many Hoosiers need just to stay alive. Well, tonight, a vigil was held on the doorstep of Eli Lilly. In a way, this served as a remembrance for people who died due to what the folks here tonight say is the high cost of insulin. T1 International held this event, and that group tells us that the cost of insulin has grown by 1,200% since the year 1996. RTV6 reporter Graham Hunter met with those families who say that needs to change.
It is with the lighting of a candle we remember.
My son Josh died 3 months ago from DKA.
That the light of our loved ones truly never go out when we honor them.
He had suffered multiple strokes while he was unconscious.
Aaron Weaver's son, Josh Andrew Wilkerson, was type 1 diabetic. He died 3 months ago with a blood sugar of 1,700. Normal levels are usually less than 100.
But his brain was fried. So we had to choose to take him off of life support.
Before his death, Josh was forced to make a decision about his health based on his ability to pay for his insulin treatment.
Josh said, I just can't afford to pay these prices.
He had been rationing his insulin, a choice a Yale study recently revealed 1 in 4 diabetics also make.
Mom yelled at him. I didn't want him to die. I'd heard about others dying from it.
And so Josh made a new choice that Weaver says may have cost him his life.
His doctor's the one who suggested that he go on the $25 Walmart insulin because he couldn't afford the copay.
So Weaver gathered with others who also lost loved ones in the shadow of the towering Eli Lilly facility.
It just makes me angry. Just makes me angry. The greed.
They listened to each other's stories and understood them all too well.
That we had lost Jessie. And then we started the heartbreaking process of living life without her.
Together, they demanded change.
They just need to care and lower the prices. Or have the Congress do something to put a cap so it's not so expensive.
Before another light goes out.
I don't think that people are aware of how life-threatening it is right now for type 1 diabetics.
Working for you in downtown Indianapolis, Graham Hunter, RTV6.
Now, Graham also reached out to Eli Lilly for a response to the vigil, asking the company for a reason why the price of insulin continues to rise, among other questions. They had no response to that question in particular, but spokesperson J. Scott McGregor did issue this following statement saying, quote, "People should not have to pay the full list price for their insulin, and Lilly has taken several actions to remove that barrier, but more needs to be done to fix the healthcare system, and public demonstrations are an important part of that process. We'll continue to push for the right reforms that can improve the system for everyone using insulin," end quote. Well, students with special needs are getting a chance to prepare for the workforce. Brownsburg High School students' Collaborations for Success program provides students with internship opportunities at places like Dawson's 2 restaurant. They learn a number of hard skills such as cleaning the kitchen to soft skills like communication with others. Throughout this time, students build their portfolios and get recommendations from their supervisors. This gives them something to show to future employers that they are ready to work. Great program there. Well, no one wants to feel stuck in their job, right? And usually when you want to move up, it's your boss that you're trying to impress. But Annie Taylor shows us some more non-traditional tactics to get ahead.
Everybody at some point in their career, whether they're happy or not, they feel that they're in a rut.
Melanie Colsey has been working in recruiting for more than 10 years, and like most of us, has had the itch to move up in her career.
I've been personally lucky enough, though, to forge solid relationships throughout my career that I think have really helped me get to where I am today.
Expert Mala Saragi says there are new ways to get ahead. Society has changed, and she says we all have to adapt.
I think traditionally people feel like they need to suck up to their boss.
But now, network. But not the way you might be thinking. You gotta network internally.
People think networking is like, it's taboo, but I mean, networking is just talking to people. It's just literally having heart-to-heart conversations with people and being yourself.
She's talking about with your coworkers. It could be as simple as saying hi when you walk into the office or bringing in donuts.
Taking them to lunch, doing fun stuff after work, doing happy hours, bringing in breakfast burritos.
When it comes to those gatherings with coworkers outside work, Melanie is not a huge fan.
I feel like that time after work is my time, and I do go to some things, but I don't go to everything.
But Mala says those are important.
I feel like a good balance is at least managing to go to at least 60-70% of the company events.
If you think your boss doesn't notice, they do.
How we're collaborating with the team and how we're mentoring each other is really important for the next step in your career.
Things pay off. Just work hard, stay focused.
I'm Annie Taylor reporting.
Annie, thank you. Exclusive, elegant, and everything about where it takes place is a secret. Until tonight, we're going to show you the spot where a fancy dinner kicked off right here in Indianapolis. Stick around.
Call 1-877, only ATT.
Well, it's shrouded in secrecy, very exclusive and elegant with the promise of gourmet food. And there are some very specific guidelines for the guests who attend this event. We're talking about the annual event called Dîner en Blanc. Our Skycam flew over the State House there as guests began arriving. Hundreds of people signed up for this chic picnic without knowing where it was going to be held. Organizers say secrecy adds to the excitement of the event. The mystery location is only revealed a short time before the dinner begins. Last year it was held at the Motor Motor Speedway. All the guests wear white from head to toe, as you can see there. They also bring a folding table, at least 2 white chairs, and a white tablecloth. They bring their own tablescape, too. Dîner en Blanc started 30 years ago in Paris, but it's now celebrated in 30 countries and 80 cities all across the world. Very fancy, Kyle.
Yeah, that is quite the checklist of things that you got to have. But you did not need to add to that the umbrella today.
They had perfect weather for this dinner.
Beautiful out there for the dinner. Our temperature tomorrow, 86. Chance for a couple of showers, mainly north of Indianapolis as we go through the first half of the day. Most of us will stay dry, not only Sunday, but for much of the next of the 7-day forecast, with those high temperatures going to be in the middle to upper 80s, close to 90 degrees by Monday afternoon.
All right, Kyle, thank you so much. And thank you guys for joining us and making RTV6 your choice for news. We hope you come back. Join us here tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Have a great Saturday night.